So the Miami Dolphins hired a new offensive coordinators. Yeah, you heard that right. What is up, Finn fans? Yes. We're going to be talking about the Miami Dolphins hiring of new offensive coordinators. What? I originally was going to make the video today talking about Tua Tagovailoa's interview yesterday. And then the Dolphins had some breaking news that they hired their offensive coordinator. So what we're going to do in today's video is I'm going to talk about the new OCs. I'm going to talk about yesterday's interview, which a lot of people are like, Doug, that's yesterday. That's old news. Who gives a crap? Well, having a baby and dealing with a blizzard kind of pushes things back a little bit for me. So I'm going to be talking about that. And then for comment of the day, I need to address something. So, yeah. Let's jump into this Mamma Jam. Like usual, guys, be sure to check out patchvibes.com. Use the promo code DDW. You get yourself 20% off of your order. Also, I told you guys that I was having a special announcement. I'm thinking of doing a new series called Miami Dolphins Mythbuster. So essentially what that is I'm going to start doing a series where, like I said, I'm going to need your guys' help. Tell me some things that you hear that's a myth about the Miami Dolphins. Like, I think my first one might be the whole Drew Brees, Dante Culpepper situation, where a lot of people think that the Dolphins chose Dante Culpepper because of the medical history. So I'm going to do a deeper dive into that, and I'm going to try to bust that myth. So essentially what the series is going to be is you guys sending me myths or me finding me myths about the Miami Dolphins, things that aren't true but are out there and people think is true. I'm going to bust it. So that's a new series I'm going to work on. But let's talk about the new offensive coordinators. Two, Eric Studesville and George Godsey. They're the Dolphins' new offensive coordinators. They're getting promoted. I guess they did a really good job at the Senior Bowl, and now they are the Miami Dolphins offensive coordinators. I'm going to be 100% honest with you, just like I was 100% honest with the Chan Gailey hire. Now, yes, I had my heart set on Dorsey. Did I honestly think Dorsey was going to be there? No, but again, I was like, come on, baby. Surprise me. You surprised me with Chan Gailey, surprised me with Dorsey. I don't like this. I'm just being 100% honest with you. Am I mad? No. Do I think it's going to suck? We'll see. Am I trusting Brian Flores? Of course. He got us from 5-11 to 10-6. I will trust the process. But face value, when I'm looking at this, I don't like it. I don't like having two offensive coordinators. It doesn't make sense to me right now. So we have Eric Studesville, the running backs coach. He was interim head coach for the Denver Broncos in 2010. He was their assistant head coach in 2017 and a running backs coach. Other than that, his entire NFL coaching career has been a running backs coach. And then we have George Godsey, who is our tight ends coach. His only offensive coordinator experience is in 2015 and 2016 when he was the Texans offensive coordinator. And that's not a great resume, I will say, because in 2015, they were 21st ranked in points for, 18th ranked in pass, 15th ranked in rush. And in 2016, 28th points for, 29th in pass, but better in rush, 8th in rushing. We'll see how this pans out. Like I said, at face value, I just don't like it. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I am always 100% honest with you guys. I just don't like it. I don't understand why. Like I said, they probably did really good at the Senior Bowl. He liked the whole back and forth. It's better a committee situation. This is probably to help Tua out more or something, which I'll talk about in 2 seconds. Why not have one? Why not find one good OC? Why not get, like I said, go out there, get the next best guy, get the guy who can become really good, get the quarterback's coach from the Chiefs. I thought that's what they were waiting for, in all honesty. I didn't think they were going to go after Ken Dorsey anymore because they obviously were waiting so long. I thought they were going after the quarterback's coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, being that they're in the Super Bowl and the Dolphins need to wait. But no. They got two OCs. They got Eric Studesville, George Godsey, are the new offense coordinators by committee. We'll see how this pans out. Like I said, face value, I'd prefer they went in a different direction, but like I always am about everything in my life and everything, let's see how it pans out. You know, they made the decision. I have no control over it. Let's see how this pans out. This might be this might be groundbreaking and people start doing it. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I don't know. You got one offense coordinator who has experience. The other one has been a running backs coach his entire career. We'll see. We'll see. The other thing I want to talk about, and this happened weeks ago, but the quarterback coach hire of Charlie Fry. He worked with Tua Tagovailoa in the Elite 11. He knows how to work with these young quarterbacks. He knows how to accommodate these young quarterbacks. One of you guys asked me, who is more important or who gets more credit for the quarterback success or failure, the coach, the quarterback's coach, or the offense coordinator? It's kind of both, but more the quarterback's coach, because the offense coordinator needs to look over the entire offense. Offensive line, running backs, wide receivers, quarterbacks, scheme, all that stuff. Whereas the quarterback's coach focuses on the quarterback and has to work with the quarterback. So that's why like Ken Dorsey gets a lot of credit for Josh Allen being as good as he is this year, because he was working specifically with Josh Allen, whereas Daboll was working with the entire offense. So yes, the quarterback's coach is incredibly important, and the fact that they bring in Charlie Fry speaks volumes of their dedication and their commitment to Tua Tagovailoa because of the connection they already have. So that's the offensive coordinator hire. Now let's talk about what happened yesterday, and that is Tua Tagovailoa's interview with two different people. He met with Dan Patrick and he met with Adam Sheen. I'm going to do Dan Patrick first because Dan Patrick's interview, he said something very specific that I find interesting. And a lot of these interviews, I think Tua did fantastic. I think what Tua said speaks volumes, and I think the way he handled himself in some of these questions was absolutely fantastic. I love what he did, right? So Dan Patrick asked him about, not Dan Patrick, Adam Sheen asked him about his rookie season. He said, I would describe my rookie season as below average. The past season wasn't up to the expectation that I have for myself, but there was a lot of things I was able to learn from. Being able to look at the defense, how different all the schemes are with the defensive coordinators. Everyone runs multiple things. Hopefully having this offseason, I can compartmentalize, good word, Tua, everything and have a much better season this year. I absolutely love that he said that, because he's not going to be making excuses. He's not going to sit here and be like, well, I could have done better, but no, he's like, yeah, I had a below average season, which he did. I would say average to below average. Yeah, he did. It's a rookie season, though. He's 100% correct there. And I like that he owns up to it. I like that he says, as the season went on, he needed to learn how to read NFL defenses, because in practice, it's different than on the field. You know what I'm saying? So having him throughout the season learn to read defenses is a big, big thing. And like I said in my film breakdown, there was times where he struggled at it, and there was times he was good at it, looking off the safety, making, the moves, scanning the defense. There was times he was good, there was times he was bad. That's a rookie season. Learning, having the good, the bad, the good, the bad, the good, the bad. So I really, really like what he said there. Now to Dan Patrick's interview, right? Because they kind of talked about the same thing, but there's some things he said in the Dan Patrick interview that I thought really resonated. Now, first off, Dan Patrick's interview was very weird to me, right? At some points, Dan Patrick was extremely condescending, and then at some point, Dan Patrick was making some very good, valid points. It seemed like Dan Patrick, he didn't want to talk to Tua, but then all of a sudden he would say something, and I'm like, oh, that was actually a good question. What are you doing, Dan Patrick? You know what I'm saying? From jump, Dan Patrick's asked Tua, where are you right now? Are you home? Are you this or that? And Tua says, I'm home. I'm in my office right now. Then right after that, he goes, what are you, in your bedroom? He just said he was in his office. Then Dan Patrick asked, this is where I'm like, why don't you just say what you need to say? He says, if I was the quarterback of Alabama and I had those wide receivers, how many touchdowns do you think I would throw? And Tua laughed. Tua said, as many as you'd want. And then he comes back and says, so at 60, behind that offensive line, and having those wide receivers, I could throw 20 touchdowns. And Tua laughed and said, yeah, if you wanted to. Just say what you wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? Tua, do you think your success in college had everything to do with the weapons around you and your offensive line? Or do you think your success in college was a little bit of both? That's what I would have asked if this was the answer I wanted to get. That's what I would have asked. Do you think your success in college had anything to do with you? Or do you think your success in college had to do with everything around you? Because it didn't translate too great in the NFL. Why do you think that? Why not ask that? Why go about it this way? But like I said, then he goes and asks him a very good question where I'm like, okay, Dan Patrick, you're very, so he says, update me on your health, right? Say September to now, is there a big difference in your mobility, all that stuff, right? I would say there's a big difference post off season. I would say there's a big difference. This past off season really has been a rehab year. This year, my health has gotten better, continuing process of getting. So he's saying last offseason, he was more just rehabbing. He wasn't learning the offense. Well, he was obviously learning the offense, but he was more getting ready for the season, rehabbing, all that stuff. So then Dan Patrick, and this is what I'm talking about, where all of a sudden I'm like, that's a very good question. And thank you for realizing this. Dan Patrick comes and says, well, looking back, we didn't even know if you'd continue your career. I don't know if the bar was set high because of Herbert's success, even a little bit of Joe Burrow's success. Like, hey, Tua, you got to put up these numbers, but they didn't go through what you went through. Was the media fair to you in that expectation? So what he's asking him is, do you think this past season was fair to you? Because Herbert and Tua and even Jalen Hurts didn't have to go through an offseason of rehab. They got to focus on just getting ready for the season, just learning the playbook, just going through that. So they were ahead of you in the race. And I'm like, thank you, Dan Patrick. That's a very good question. And he says, I wouldn't know too much because I never pay attention too much to the media, what they said or what was going on. The only time I understood about the hype is when I was interviewed by the media, which is, again, he didn't set this hype up that a lot of fans are upset that he didn't meet. He didn't set it up. He was just trying to rehab, get ready to play the season for the Miami Dolphins. The media and some other people were setting this hype up. So all these expectations that people had for him that now they're pissed at him, that's not the kid's fault. This is why I defend him so much, because people get on him. People think he sucks. He's a but it's not his fault. He didn't do it, I get interviewed by the media for the Dolphins. As for expectations, I have really high expectations for myself, and I did not meet them. Again, love that. I'm the type of person that my cup has a hole in it, and it will never be full. I have to constantly work at my craft, constantly work at who I am to be better. That's exactly what Tua just said there. He has very high expectations for himself. He wants to be great. He wants to be great for this organization, and he hasn't met those yet. Then they ask him about Deshaun Watson, because his name is intertwined with that. So what's it like to hear your name in trade talks with Watson? And he says what anybody would say. I would say that's something I can't control. I have no control over the trade deals. For me, my job is to help our team win games and help our offense contribute to the success of the team. That right there, I was like, I knew it, Tua. Help our offense contribute to the success of the team. And that's why he didn't throw so many, I guess you could say, tightly covered balls, right? And if you watch my film breakdown, he kind of did, but he didn't at the same time. Because he didn't want to screw over what the defense did. He didn't want to take points off the field. He didn't want to have these turnovers end up having no points. He wanted to have the offense contribute to the success of the team. So he didn't want to be the reason for them losing. There it is, right there. That's what I'm interpreting. You might interpret it differently, but there it is. And I was like, I knew it, man. Plus, like I said, he's the rookie who's still learning how to read the defense, still learning how to do these things. So he's like, let me not screw over my team. Let me just do the reads that I know and not screw this up until I know exactly what I'm doing. And then he asked him about the Tua jersey. Should I get one? And he says, I have no control over that. I'm going to continue to work hard. These interviews, I think, were fantastic. The way Tua handled himself, the answers that he gave, the insight that we got is fantastic. You know, we were talking about that he was rehabbing all offseason. Yes, he was. Herbert and Burrow had a step up on him. They had a little bit of an advantage. But is that their fault? No. They didn't get injured. Tua got injured. So Tua has to, be behind in the race. And it is what it is, So I really love the answers he gave here. I really love the way he handled himself. And like I said, Dan Patrick at the beginning of the interview, I'm like, you're being a little douchey. And then towards the middle of the interview, I was like, oh, never mind. Like, I was very confused. It was a very awkward interview with Dan Patrick. Adam Sheen was, I love the question about him saying he had a below average season. I think that was a fantastic answer. I love the fact that this kid is always trying to improve, always trying to get better. And I love the way he handles himself. So be sure to comment below. I'm going to get a comment of the day in a second where I got to talk about something. Be sure to comment below. Let me know what you think of the new OCs. Let me know what you think of what Tua had to say. You guys already know about this whole Tua situation with these interviews. I wanted to make it yesterday, but like I said, I had a new baby and I had a lot of shoveling to do. I'll post the video of what my town looks like yesterday. A lot of shoveling to do. I have to do more today after I get done, editing and uploading this video. So be sure to comment below. Now, comment of the day, I need to address something because as much as people don't understand, I read things. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I hang out on other Dolphin streams, live stream and stuff. So I see and I read things that people say about me. And my biggest fault, and I do this for our players and I do this for myself, I don't like when I'm represented wrong, and I don't like when my players are represented wrong. I don't like when people interpret me not correct, right? So what the hell are you talking about, Doug? I see a lot of people calling me a Tua stan. I see a lot of people saying I'm an apologist. I'm seeing a lot of people say I make up all these excuses for Tua and all that stuff, right? One guy on Facebook said, I think he called me a Douglie Tua do no wrong, which again, I don't know why it bothers me so much when false information about me is out there, because I literally did a film breakdown, and half of it was me talking about the things Tua needs to work on because Tua does wrong. If that makes any sense, talk about that comment. His footwork he needs to work on his footwork. He needs to read the defenses quicker. He needs to get the ball out quicker. What else? He needs to trust his arm a little bit more. There's a ton of things in that breakdown video that I talk about the things that Tua does wrong that he needs to work on. Yes, do I talk about the good he does? Yes, because he did do well. But he also did bad. This is what I'm talking about. So when people come at me or comment and say, all you do is defend Tua, you never talk, that's not true. And that's what drives me nuts. And that's when I have to defend myself. And that's what this is, right? People like to say, oh, you why don't you do this for someone else? I did. If you've been riding with me from jump, you'll see I defend players that deserve to be defended, right? If Tua sucked, right? He was 100% horrible. He threw 25 interceptions. He threw 2 touchdowns. He was just absolutely putrid. I would not be saying a word, right? I would not be saying a word. If the wide receivers were getting great separation, if he had all the time in the pocket and was able to throw and was just throwing interceptions, I would say nothing. I'd be like, yeah, Tua sucks. I think we made the wrong pick there. But I feel like just give the kid time, right? I said the same thing about Christian Wilkins. When people called Christian Wilkins a bust, I said, give the kid a time. He actually had a similar rookie season to some really great defensive tackles. I said the same thing for Ryan Fitzpatrick at the beginning of the year. I defended Ryan Fitzpatrick with the Patriots game. I defended Ryan Fitzpatrick with the Buffaloes game. I defended Ryan Fitzpatrick with the Seattle game. But people want to forget that and call me a Tua stan. Tannehill versus Brock Osweiler. Go back and watch that video where I said Tannehill needs to come back. Brock Osweiler had one good game where he was dumping the ball off 5 yards and Albert Wilson was taking it the rest of the way. I was defending Tannehill there, but also I said that we needed to trade Tannehill because it was just time to move on after 7 years. But people forget that. I defended Josh Rosen. In saying this kid needs a chance. Give him the offensive line. Let him compete. Give him a chance. You can go back and see that. So I don't just do it for Tua. I do it for people who deserve it. And I honestly think that Tua is getting a bad shake right now. I think Tua deserves the right offseason. I think he deserves some time. And I've said this too in my past videos. I'm not giving him 7 years. I'm giving him, we'll see how he does this season, and I'll give you my assessment at the end of this season. It might change at the end of this upcoming season. I might say, nah, he don't have it. It's time to move on. He had a full off season. They added weapons. They added offense. He don't have it. Let's move on. So the misconception about me out there, I don't know what it is about me that it bothers me, but it's wrong. I don't get it. I try to be as objective as possible, and I think I am unbiased as possible. I talked about Tua's faults, and I talked about how well he did in the film breakdown, and people just ignore it. And I need to do, I need to ignore these things. I don't know why I can't. That's my fault. I'm like, but I don't do that. That's not true. And I'm like, oh, why is it? And it bothers me. It really does bother me. I don't know why, but it bothers me. I let those things get under my skin because I'm like, that's not true. It's just not. It'd be like someone constantly coming to me and saying you're a Patriots fan. I'm like, I'm not a Patriots fan. But thank you for if you're here listening to me rant about this, I greatly appreciate it. Because it just bothers me, and I just feel like I need to defend myself a little bit because I don't think that that's true. If you think, hey, Doug, no, it is true, comment below. Let me know why, and maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think I'm wrong. But that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I got a lot of stuff planned. Like I said, I got that whole Dolphins Mythbuster series coming. So comment below some myths that you want busted about this Miami Dolphins organization. Be sure to comment below, and I will either bust it or confirm it. And that's the whole series. So be sure to comment below about that. If you guys don't know, me and TD are a part of this big network called the Miami Sports Music. Very big network. Solo D is a part of it. I actually got to talk to him the other day. That was fantastic. He told me that I sometimes help him with his songs, which I did not know. Be sure to go check that out. They have their YouTube channel. They have their website. Be sure to check it out. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.